All right, now here's our audio check. Coming to you live, round 5, NPL Victoria action from Churchill Reserve. Josh Parrish alongside Craig Filer, and there's a chance on goal!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all good, yep. Yep, perfect. Yep, 1, 2. Yep.
Cool.
Good. Where's the effect? Oh, you got the effects mic there. We'll have, it's not going to cause a problem with Fergal Sharkey later on,
I
though.
don't think so. I'll kill it if I have to. Alright, we're off. Is your channel 2 working? Oh yeah,
Yeah, I had
I can see, yeah. Lovely. That's a nice mount you've got there.
yeah, it's official. But no, Sennheisers.
Any issues this week, Josh?
Should be fine actually. I worked out what I did wrong last week. One of the switches got knocked in the bag, so we were first half we were on the wrong setting. Right. I think it was in like music instead of guitar level kind of thing instead of mic level. So that's why it sounded a bit noisy and well, kind of fuzzy in the first half. I think that's what. Otherwise, they. Well, if you're desperate, what about you back right here? And there's the power. I'm only powering a mix. I'm not even powering a laptop.
I'll bring my laptop.
I'll just go off the phone if I need to. Yeah, no, these things are the best.
Oh, yes, I'm doing this. But I bought it a while ago. Maybe they get it cheap. How long is it?
Expensive. You're streaming a game off a laptop and running all this as well. It'll be done by the end of the game, basically. So you need to have internal battery. So you can power the mixer off the laptop and then the laptop off the bank, and then the internal battery of the laptop will get you over the line if it runs out. You've got extra time or something. But if you're just running this, I'll be down to 1 bar. So it really depends. I know it's scary. And again, there's a couple of other ways in that. Nice. Switch the battery power on or something. Yeah, huge. But Woolwich is a good player. Get from there. Oh yeah, he's too old. Yeah, he is. He looks like he's played in India. High league.
You win Golden Chance?
Hanging on. Australia high league.
Good win. Good go next week. I see they signed Cameron Davis.
This one's
I'm good mates with Dad, right?
So
We're good mates. And we got Ellis, he's other one. He's playing with
I know a podcast in another league and we were joking about they should set up in space.
So what do you...
Listen to this. Every time the camera pans right. Iron deconstruction.
No, they went up.
Do you have to do the live stuff?
West Fair we got.
No, right, they do it.
So I've seen camera for lower games.
Are you positive as well? Just all good. Just
Time.
It's just more
grab a
personal.
squad for a long time.
They do it a lot for football. They've got athletes like
I have to do it for
Why? Really?
It's you do this fantastic services. Betting for to get life good I'm usually forgetting this.
oh yeah, in Aussie rules, you have to click like blue button thing, and that's just yeah.
You need a winger if you know anybody, mate. You need a winger. Oh, who does play
What is that?
Oliver.
What's this one? 4 or 5?
But I don't want to. Very close to your problem, mate. It was
Could be fun.
I don't want to do that. squad places, you can have a bunch of good players. Everybody's a good player. Yeah, everybody's a good player. Everybody's a good player. Not five, not between five and $1,000. Even a dollar. I'll let Lewis Sampson, I've known since he was 2 years old. So I brought him over last year to play for Wales. He's been playing for a while.
Aye.
That's not mine, so that's your mark.
Oh.
So they've got both
Can you
channels.
go in?
Wait, as in,
They've got both channels mixed together. 1 and 2. Not supposed to be.
they shouldn't be. No, this isn't. What?
Well, why are we getting a level then?
So I've got that. But then when you guys got your mics on and speaking,
Yeah, well, we should add them, but it means the balance will be off. You know, in the studio, the balance will be off for the effects, and because it's your FX mic plus my FX mic. So
oh, you're going. Okay.
So I'm gonna have to turn. I'll just turn my FX mic down, like a lot, and it should balance out.
Yeah.
But it means we're always there.
Yeah. I can.
Victoria. It's a relegation dogfight. 13th taking on 14th. So much at stake. Chris Dibb on the ball for Dynamo. Almost feels like a cup game here, playing in the evening, but no, regular league action between these two rivals. St Albans have the better of their recent meetings, winning both games last season, 1-0 and 3-0. They crossed paths many times back when they were both down in the second division. But the last time that Moreland City beat St Albans in a league fixture was back in 2016, Craig.
Yeah, I was just, I've got my notes there, and that was one that I was going to bring up. I think they've played each other 10 times since 2013. Like I said, Moreland City had the double, St Albans had the double over them last year. Something Moreland want to resurrect and get that win. 4 games, 4 losses, Josh.
It's been a rough old trot to start the season for Moreland City, but they've got an attack brewing here after a mistake from Bullich. It's Fletcher Fulton. Will it sit for the shot? Just poked goalwards by Diego Cuba, but Bullich able to atone for his giveaway and make a straightforward save. Early scare for Dynamo.
Yeah, good start from Moreland, putting some pressure on early.
I was going to say, Craig, in that last Moreland win back in 2016, it was none other than Apaya Kuno with the brace. He's on the bench tonight. We'll see if he is given a chance to impress.
Yeah, the last time actually I commentated Moreland City, was that unique game up at CB Smith Reserve when they beat Pascaville. So and Kuno obviously got the winner that day, so he was sat on the bench this evening. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Moreland City have transitioned. They've lost a few players this season.
Well, we don't have a promotion playoff anymore, but that game was as good as one. Absolutely sensational entertainment. Such drama at the end of that Paco Moreland City game, which is part of the law of how they've defied the odds and headed up to the top flight.
Live in my memory for a long time, that. Just the suspense. And
Yes, Tsitsides making an enterprising run from centre back. Can't quite pick out his winger on the far side. Safakis down the line. Spall knocking it back. Looks like they've gone a bit more attacking this week, Craig, bringing Matt Spall into the lineup.
Yeah, just trying to look whether they've actually gone three at the back, and I'm not sure they have. They've certainly got one sat there, I think, and Corey Thomas in his more usual 8. He has played 8 on the wing, as we've seen a number of times. But
it looks like Spall is playing wide, and still Jose Sands through the middle, but we have seen him play through the middle as a central striker in the past, so plenty of goal threat on the right-hand side. Diego Cuba just sitting in behind Jose Sands in the number 9 role, the Chilean.
looking forward to just hold off there.
Cuba picking out Sands. Sands trying to curl one. And you could see what he'd envisaged, but the execution was nowhere near.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Jose play. He was due to come and sign for my side in pre-season. Got hijacked by Drago. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how he performs. Can't trust anybody nowadays, Josh.
Well, it's a fair old promotion coming up straight to the top flight, Craig.
Absolutely, yeah, straight in from State League 2 to NPL1.
Nothing against State League 2,
absolutely.
Of course. Here goes Cuba on the half volley. Well, they're raining down the speculative shots early on here, Moreland City, but nothing really troubling Bullich so far. Surely Dynamo got to be concerned by this. They're hemmed in their own half.
Yeah, early doors, you would have thought that it would have been the other way, and St Albans would have put a bit of pressure, but they're soaking it up at the moment. A few changes in the squad, as you said, Josh.
Ooh.
That was very close.
Well,
the live stream almost went down then.
Your commentary team and cameraman in the firing line.
Yeah, it's really interesting there, Josh, the changes that Ryan McGuffey's made. Obviously, he's not happy with the performance last week against Melbourne Knights in a game that they were pretty non-existent for the 90 minutes.
Spall almost forcing a turnover there. Joey Monek and James Riccobene eventually working out a conundrum between them. Here's Corey Thomas, the Moreland City captain, who finished last season basically playing on one leg. This is Cuba. No way past Monek in the wide area. But again, encouraging signs from the side rooted to the bottom of the table so far this season after 4 rounds. As you mentioned, Craig, 4 games, 4 losses. They've been competitive in most of them, especially against Avondale.
Last week, 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were a man advantage, only briefly. As soon as Avondale went down to 10 men, rather, Luke Jurcic was sent off for denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and Avondale scored from the resulting free kick. It was 10v10 for the rest of the game. So a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, look, the challenge for both these clubs is goals, isn't it? You know, they're both really struggling to find the net, which, as you know, is very important when you're playing football.
Just 3 goals between them so far this season. 2 for St Albans, 1 to Fletcher Fulton for Moreland City. Chance tonight to flip the script. It's Cuba's corner. Corey Thomas attacking it. Thomas again. Fulton was the intended target. Just not quite on the same page. It was a real opportunity for Moreland City. That ball goes to feet for Fletcher Fulton. He's got a clear strike on goal.
Yeah. We saw that last week, didn't we, with Melbourne Knights? Very similar. They played through.
Flipped header. Shitsides. Thomas.
On your feet, stay on your feet.
Moreland seeing out the danger. Newman Ali involved in that.
There's one other game this evening, Josh, isn't it? Just down the road at Knight Stadium. It was 2-1 to Melbourne Knights, but Dundee City have just scored. 2-0 up Melbourne Knights. It's now 2 goals in 2 minutes for Dundee City. It's back to 2-2.
Well, Dandenong City certainly pulling up some trees in their return to the top flight. An exciting weekend of action once again. Stinked over the top by Zelfi Nazari. Danger at the back here as Condolian came off his line and brought down the on-rushing Moreland striker, Scott Bacour.
Yeah, the referee didn't give that, but the official was straight away with his flag pointing for a St Albans penalty.
That's a yellow card shown to Condolian, and it will be a spot kick. Well, they've barely had a sniff so far in this game, St Albans. But now they have a golden chance from 12 yards. It's going to be Brian Summerskill, who scored from the penalty spot last season against Moreland City in that 1-0 win. And Alex Condolian atone for his error.
He's not the biggest goalkeeper, is he?
It's Summerskill, sends him the wrong way. Brian Summerskill, ever reliable, buries it in the bottom corner. And St Albans Dynamo hit the front.
Yeah, that'll be a knife through the heart of Moreland City, who started the best in this game, being on the front foot. Played most of the minutes in that final third, and yeah, that's a killer, isn't it?
Well, they just made a hash of it at the back, didn't they? It's a speculative little lobbed ball over the top from Zelfi Nazari. Shout for handball against Cholina. This is Bakor. Summerskill. To Shongo. Now Numan Ali gets a foot in.
From a goalkeeper perspective, there was probably no need for him to actually make the tackle. He was going away from goal to byline. You know, stay on your feet.
I think Bakor knows exactly what he's doing, but it doesn't mean it's not a foul. Showing some real smarts, street smarts to draw that contact, and it was the assistant on the near touchline here who was flagging. I don't think the referee actually picked it up, but
Signal from the referee that he got the ball, but the assistant on this near side was adamant, got his flag up straight away.
As a referee, you've got to trust
Absolutely.
your assistants and your fourth official if they've got a better line of vision to something. Well,
that'll settle things down now. I suppose the neutral would want an early goal here tonight, because it now opens the game up for both sides. Well, Moreland have to try and to get something out of the game. Moreland 5's a big. It's a tough start to the season if it eventuates to that.
Tsitsides. There's real urgency about Moreland's play, maybe too much urgency there as Fletcher Fulton sees that one sail over his head. Tasmania is a fair talent if he can get the service. Ali heading it into touch.
Yeah, that first season, Fulton arrived from Tasmania. He really did set the league with his pace and his trickery.
Ali. Summerskill's header. There's Kerr a Rob getting a foot in. Whistle going against Joey Cholina there. Little warning there from Daniel Ilievski. And with the whistle tonight. Tsitsides under pressure from Summerskill, but he rides the challenge well. Corey Thomas. Now Numan Ali. Chris Dibb came in late there on Fletcher Fulton. And nothing held back from the Dynamo captain. Standing captain, I should say, with Michael Gergich on the pine tonight.
Yeah, strong tackle. Opportunity now for Moreland to put one in the box.
It is Diego Cuba on set-piece duties. What's the delivery like? It's a dangerous one. Tashongo had the clearance. Cannons off a Moreland City player. It's Matt's ball. Really knew nothing about it. Could have gone anywhere, but it's behind for a goal kick.
Good ball in. Just needed a flick, a touch of some sorts. Fletcher Fulton just got in front of the ball and just got caught up in his feet.
Diego Cuba looks like a fair talent. Runs in the family.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Sion Cuba at Avondale. Lit up the league for Altona Magic last season. And now his brother has come down from eastern suburbs in NPL Queensland. Sutsides in bravely. Dib heading away. Now Nazari. Shout for handball. That's Fulton not paid. Razumich to Shongo. Razumich swarmed by 3 Moreland City players. They've won it back. Can they go in a hurry here? Corey Thomas. Cuba. Razumich sliding in strongly to atone for his turnover, and it's a shout of approval from the hill. Rickabene's clearance was straight into a teammate. The core lays it off for Monic. Can't dribble his way past. The core knocks it forward. Sutsides went flying. And it was against Dibbon, the whistle, just backing into the centre back there, Craig.
He was very lucky he didn't cause himself some damage, because he fell really awkwardly then. But the referee's given a free kick for backing in, as you said. He's a big lad. That would have hurt.
Well, it's a long way down.
It is a long way down.
It's knocked long and diagonal, looking for Fulton. Bullich fumbled it, but he did enough. Sutsides, Ali, under the pump. Very well done from Newman Ali. Did that come off a hand? It did. I think the whistle had already gone before Newman Ali went to ground. And this is a free kick in a great position for Moreland City. Shooting range.
Yeah, did well there, Ali. Ball's bouncing around in the middle of the park. It's, as we know, it's not the best of pitches here at Churchill Reserve. It is very, very bumpy. Lots of bare patches on the pitch. He was lining this one up.
Looks like 4 in the wall for Dinamo. Well, Sion Cuba, his brother, scored a free kick against them last week. Let's see if the other member of the Cuba family can reply from a similar dead ball situation. It's Diego Cuba! And Marco Borwich comes up with a fine stop.
Good free kick. I think, probably surprised a few with he came across the wall into this near side. Great free kick. Plenty of venom in it and a fantastic save.
And the set-piece specialist. It's threatening for Moreland City. Down a goal, but they're on top on the balance of play. Can they make it count here? Cuba's corner to the near post. It was acrobatic from Fletcher Fulton, but again, too difficult to crane his neck and direct it on target.
Yeah, as I said, it's a really good start from Moreland City. They are 1-0 down from the only attack that St Albans have had, coincidentally, in this opening 20 minutes. Positive signs from the bottom side.
Sunday night football coming to you from a balmy Churchill Reserve. The Mercury skyrockets in Melbourne this weekend. This kickoff delayed by 5 hours. A great relief to all concerned that it could be rescheduled. Fox Street not looking too bad under the lights. Sutsides. Cuba on first time, looking for Fulton. He's drawn Chris Dibb wide to Shongo covering. Now Sutsides directing another one towards our broadcast position.
They're on a mission, aren't they?
Not sure if it was something we said. taking the free kick quickly. Kerr a rob. Wide for Daniel Safakis. Turned over by Cuba, and now Josh Diven going at a rob. Well defended.
Just need to be careful there. Moreland not try and play out in the wrong positions and get themselves caught on this pitch, as we said.
Div's header. Diven might have been offside if he'd touched that. This is Cuba. Off the outside of the boot, right area. It's taken a touch off Fulton. Or has it?
Yeah, Danilevski getting some help from the fourth official this time.
You know what they say? Many hands make light work, and certainly been the approach from the officiating team. So we go in for a mandated drinks break. Even at 8:39 p.m. in Melbourne, it is still sweltering. And the players will get a chance to take on some fluids.
Just going to have a look on my Football Victoria thermometer that they gave us. It's 27 degrees. It's 8:40 p.m.
Is that the wet bulb temperature, Craig?
Yeah, it's not pleasant to play any kind of sport in, is it? Especially when you're playing in the top league in Victorian football, where the pace is very high. Can't be nice.
Well, Ryan McGuffey seizing the chance to dish out some instructions. It's going to stay as a Moreland City throw, in fact. Ryan Summerskill is confused.
Yeah, look, I thought that was a St Albans throw myself. I thought it did come off Fletcher Fulton. I'm not sure that went out either, did it?
Oh, I'm not sure either. I think it's gone out for a goal kick, in fact. Well, Chris Dibb is giving Jose Sands a rather unceremonious shove into the fence there. Oh dear. It's all happening at Fox Street.
Jeez, the heat. It's getting to everybody.
Diven contesting. The core. Trying to help it on. Well done by Spall. Oh, and there was stud showing there, perhaps. Selfie Nazari up with a shout, and now he's back to his feet, thankfully. Here goes Summerskill. Diven. Well, the decibel meter was off the charts when the challenge came in, Craig, and then when the whistle didn't go, play on.
Everybody looked to the referee. It was a tough tackle. But Danilevski didn't see anything in it. Game continued.
No harm done for Nazari, thankfully. Thomas helps it on for Fulton. Fulton pokes it through but can't find a way past Ricabene. Summerskill stops and props and gives the ball away. Very confident on it, but it's Diego Cuba who came out with it. Corey Thomas, well overhit.
Yeah, don't normally see that from the Welshman. He's normally very good at those. Just overhit it. Looking for some runners in behind. Didn't really happen for him. But
a man who lives and breathes Moreland City, Corey Thomas, will be key to their hopes of staying up again this season. They managed it by a single point in 2023. Still in the mix on the final day with the Bentley Greens. This Bentley, who went down, and Moreland City, against the odds perhaps, stay in the top flight for another year. I'm sure based on early season form, plenty will have them as relegation favourites, but I don't think they mind being the underdog.
No, I think, you know, for the last couple of seasons, haven't they? They've sort of been the underdog. Nobody expected them to get promotion from NPL 2 as it was into NPL 1. And then last year was obviously staying up against all odds, as you say. I think they like being the underdogs. I think there's the culture in the football club of that's bred into them that, you know, we'll take on anybody. We won't fear anybody.
Safakis getting good distance off the throw. They gain ground here. A goal down, but still very much in this contest as Jose Sands drops off the front line. Ali. Unkind bobble. A rob. Arrowed across the park to Fletcher Fulton. And now Corey Thomas making an inviting run. Chris Dibb. Right place, right time to clear the danger. Razumich turning it over. He's backed up by Tashongo. Thomas, good challenge. Helps it on to Ali. Cuba went down, really expecting a free kick. And Dean Waters. Something on that. Spall. And it breaks down. Fulton wants to go inside. He wants to attack that space between fullback and centre-back, Craig. But
I think on a bigger pitch, Josh, I think probably it's the right tactic. It's very tight here at Churchill Reserve. The pitch is very narrow. It's not particularly long. As you said, he's looking for that run in behind.
Maybe it's CB Smith, Fletcher, but not a Fox straight. Spall. There's contact off Nazari, and Daniel Wilijewski just thought about it for a moment before awarding the free kick. Maybe another chance a little bit further out this time for Diego Cuba to have a go.
Yeah, look, I think their best option for Moreland City, certainly on the first half showing, is this ball out to Fletcher Fulton, getting it to him, getting it at the fullback of St Albans. He's got some pace, and if he can get by him and get that ball into the box early, they've got a chance.
And we heard the instruction from the Moreland City bench over the FX mic. This one's going in the mix-up. Unless it's a double bluff, of course.
Edge of the 6-yard box, I reckon, Josh.
Cuba's delivery, it's on the money. Bullich has to come and punch. Challenged by Nazari, who hooks it back into play. Dean Waters. Onto Fulton. Oh, Fulton went down. Spectacular fashion. Contact from Tashongo. A rob heads back to Condolian. This is a big appeal to the Moreland City bench. Nothing doing. Ali confidently strides out of defence. That's a great first touch from Fulton. Tashongo was tight to him. Razumich.
Need to be careful here, Chris Dibb.
Here's Cuba. He's looking for Spall. And now Thomas. Fired over. Another good chance goes begging for Moreland City as the discussions continue on the touchline.
Yeah, they're up in arms, the Moreland City coaching staff there. Thought it was a clear foul on Fletcher Fulton.
The way Fulton went down, it looked like Tashongo had performed some sort of wrestling maneuver on him. Nelson, he's a pint-sized package, but maybe he doesn't know his own strength. Condoli. Out to clear. Nazari. ball, winning a loose ball and getting back for the 1-2. He's got a teammate limping behind play, Dean Waters, the Irishman. Riccobene. And Dynamo locked on the edge of their 18-yard box, as they have been for a lot of this game. Yet they have the lead from Brian Summerskill's penalty. Ali. The left back, very involved in the attack so far. Cuba. Dinked into Thomas. Pulls it back to Cuba. Now Thomas was just off balance there. But it was lovely combination play.
Some really good football from Moreland City. I think, Josh, they're trying to maybe look for that beautiful goal. Maybe they just need to maybe test bullets in goals. You know, get a couple of shots away. At least, you know, the pitch is bobbly, so you get a shot away, anything can happen. You know, it's they've had a lot of the play, but they haven't had 3 shots, if that, in the first half.
Treatment going on here gives the players another opportunity for a drinks break. Selfie Nazari in a spot of bother. Looks like he'll continue. Deep into stoppage time over at Summer Street. Still Melbourne Knights 2, Dandenong City 2. Staring comeback for Hajduk in the Croatian derby, or one off.
Yeah, they've started really well, haven't they? They've certainly come back into the big league, mixing it. They went on a fantastic run last season, and that looks to be continued down at Dandy City. Of course, they got the big Dandenong rivalry next week, isn't it? Dandy City and Dandy Thunder down at.
Sure is, a big Dandy derby. We've missed it with Hajduk spending a season down in the second tier.
If you're in the area next week and you haven't got a game, might get down there to watch that one. That's going to be a tasty affair for sure.
Absolutely. Here goes Cuba. The NPL Victoria action isn't quite over even after this game. We've got a rescheduled Oakley v Altona match on Monday, which will be behind closed doors at Jack Edwards. It's knocked into the box by Moreland City. Dibb getting it away. Summerskill couldn't keep it. Ali goes all the way back to Condolian. It's a bit of a negative pass there, Craig.
Yeah, it did. They were on the halfway line all the way back. No real need for it. They have kept the ball. Been really impressed with them in this first half, Josh. I think they played some really good stuff.
Well, they've certainly been the brighter team on the attacking end, despite the scoreline. Dynamo, 1 chance, 1 goal from the penalty spot for Brian Summerskill, and that will do nicely.
Well, that's the only thing that matters, isn't it?
The only statistic that counts. I think Dynamo would happily take a backs to the wall 1-0 victory here if they could get off the mark for 2024. Jose Sands cutting a somewhat frustrated figure up front. Moreland City have been putting together some nice patches, but it's rarely involved the Chilean. He's always been waiting for the ball in the box that hasn't come.
Yeah, I saw his highlights package, and they were very impressive highlights package. But saying that, I've never had a bad one sent to me, Josh. So
that's true. A bit of movie magic can
absolutely
can make a lot of players look pretty handy.
It's a really good highlights package. Now, can you send me the ones that's when you're really bad, and let's have a look at those ones? Nah, I haven't got any of them. Always good. But no, he's certainly got some pedigree. He's the big Chilean. Well,
the missed sitters and terrible turnovers tend to end up on the cutting room floor for good reason, but it's always an enticing mystery when a player comes to NPL Victoria from a far-flung league. Transcendino in Chile was his last team. Here he is. Jose Sands! Well, that had some venom behind it.
Right on cue.
Almost one for the highlight reel.
Great strike, got some power on it. That's what Moreland need to do. I think they need to get a few more shots away, as I said a little bit earlier. Having a lot of the play, but trying to perhaps play that little too intricate football around the box. Maybe let one fly now and again. Test the keeper.
It's the second big save from Marko Bulic this evening. This is Diego Cuba again. Takes all the dead balls from Moreland City. Bakor keeps it alive. Is there a chance to break here? Razumich held up by challenge of Kerr Rob, and now Fletcher Fulton. Monek comes through, spotted bother, flying colours there. He fouled. There was a trailing arm there. Jose Sands has gone down in a heap, clutching his face.
Yeah, it's brave from Joey Monek there, trying to dribble out from his penalty box on this pitch. Always a risk. But he got away with it. Gets the free kick. Settles it down with a couple of minutes left of this first half.
James Rukubena. Divin. Monek is long up the line for Josh Divin. Nicely brought down, and then a big collision with Tsitsides. Going in for not one but two big challenges. No whistle. Razumich. 3 challenges from Tsitsides. He's a tackling machine.
He's a proper defender, isn't he? Yeah. Warts and all. He doesn't care. He's going in. He's winning that ball.
Here's Cuba. Fed through for Jose Sands, but the flag is up. They want a yellow card for the Chilean who played on in frustration.
But great play from the Terrorin defender there. 3 tackles within the space of 30 seconds, and big tackles as well. They need him on the pitch. I know he's likely to miss 1 or 2 games a season because of the type of player he is, but Moreland City need him on the pitch, that's for sure.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the disciplinary record, Craig, because I was going to bring up he has been sent off already this season, and he had 13 yellow cards in the comp, which was the second most of any player. Trivia time, Craig. Who was top of the pops for yellow cards last year? Ooh. I'll give you a moment.
Oh, you got me there.
None other than Nikola Jurkovic, 14.
Of course. Of course, Nick. He's applying his trade now at Caroline Springs George Cross. Played yesterday in their 1-0 defeat to Bulleen Lions.
Done the rounds of a few of the Croatian clubs in Victoria. Melbourne Knights, North Geelong Warriors. To Shongo. And for Zelfi Nazari. Off the outside of the boot. He was envisaging that curling back into the path of Bakor. Instead, it stayed pretty straight. A rob. Went short on the goal kick, but not for long. Bullich taking his time over this long clearance. Summerskill up against Tsitsides. It's a bit of contact, but nothing untoward. Fulton can't dribble his way out of trouble. Cholin feeding it through for Josh Diven. There are Rob standing in the way. And Dynamo have a late corner. This will be a real sucker punch if they made it 2 here, Craig.
This is, I think this is the only second time they've actually been in there in the Moreland City box in the whole of this first half. So yeah, this will be a killer if they get something from this. Everybody back into that 18-yard box for Moreland City. Must keep this one out.
Summerskill standing over it. Plenty of tall timber to aim for. It's a low delivery though. You can see Scott McCord just darting around from the back. Rehearsed routine off the training ground, but didn't quite work out on match day. Corey Thomas saw it coming. This is Summerskill holding off Ali and forcing another corner. Again, Chris Dibb coming forward from the back. Near post delivery, allowed to bounce. Dean Waters clears the lines. Monek looks it forward. Chris Dibb has stayed up top, and now Condolian out again, and it's another penalty.
Carbon copied, Josh.
And will he go off? He was given a yellow card for the first one.
By the letter of the law, he has to go, doesn't he?
Daniel Ilievsky has kept the cards in his pocket.
What is Alex Cadonian thinking there? He's going away from goal. No need to not even a need to go there.
Well, I think Alex Condolian can thank his lucky stars that he's still on the pitch to face this penalty, Craig. Very interesting decision. But nevertheless, Dynamo have the chance to go 2 from 2 from the spot here. It's Summerskill again, straight down the middle. And St Albans Dynamo have been the model of efficiency here. 2 chances, 2 goals.
That's football. That's football, but 2 costly errors from Moreland City from their goalkeeper. 2 penalties for exactly the same reactions. It's really let his side down because they've been the better side in this first half, Josh.
Incredible. No, you're not watching first half highlights. Same thing has happened again. Deja vu for Moreland City here as Alex Condolian concedes his second penalty of the game. And Brian Summerskill just steps up and dinks it down the middle that time. Well, Moreland City have every right to feel aggrieved by the scoreline based on their performance in this first half.
Fourth official rules up there. 1 minute of additional time in this first half. That's a really tough half-time team talk now, isn't it? You've had 90% of the possession and the play in the first half, and given away 2 penalties, and it's
Fulton for Spall. Spall opposite to the back post. It's going to be a corner.
could change the half-time team talk very quickly if they could get one on the board here.
Oh, and the dying embers of this first half. Can Moreland City claw one back? Cuba's corner is on point again, and Sutsides couldn't make contact. It's missed everyone, has it?
I think it has. It's a great delivery in.
Well, pretty unlikely hero for Chris Dibb to round the goalkeeper and win a spot kick. That's exactly what's happened. Now, Fletcher Fulton up against Ashiongo. Diego Cuba robs possession high up the park, but the low cross is intercepted. And there's the half-time whistle. And that'll do nicely for Dinamo. They've hardly had a sniff of goal apart from 2 spot kicks conceded in almost identical fashion by Moreland City goalkeeper Alex Condolian. Yellow carded for the first, escapes sanction for the second. But nevertheless, Brian Summerskill on the money with both penalties, and that's the difference between these two teams at half-time. But Craig Filer, Moreland City have every reason to go into the rooms and think they can get back into this game based on the balance of play.
Yeah, look, from a St Albans perspective, if Roy McGuffey set out to soak up the pressure and try and catch them on the break, well, he's done that to perfection. And if he has done that, then he deserves manager of the year award already. But look, Moreland far better in that first half in terms of possession. But ultimately, Josh, as you said in commentary, you know, the stats of the matter is that St Albans are 2-0 up, and it's a really tough talk in there for the Moreland City coaching staff. But for Ryan McGuffey and Paul Donnelly, it'll be slightly easier now knowing that they're 2-0 in and going into the break. But need to be careful, because we've seen in this first half that Moreland are very capable of creating something.
Smash and grab in the first 45 here at Churchill Reserve. This delayed kickoff, round 5 NPL Victoria action. We'll take a short break here on the live stream. The only statistic that matters is St Albans Dinamo 2, Moreland City 0. Welcome back to a hot and sweaty Churchill Reserve here on a Sunday evening to round out round 5 in NPL Victoria. The halftime score, St Albans Dynamo 2, Moreland City 0, and Moreland City have gone to their bench. And on comes Chudia Thargiath, a forward to replace the right back, Daniel Safakis. So a reshuffle and a really attacking change as they chase this game. You could argue they were the better team in the first half, but they find themselves 2 goals down thanks to 2 penalties from Brian Summerskill. Josh Parrish here alongside Craig Filer. Craig, what did you make of that substitution?
Yeah, it's certainly an attacking one. Just looking at the setup, it looks as though Corey Thomas has now dropped back into a 6.
Looks like they're playing Matt Spall as a right back.
Yeah, that's what I can see.
Well, I saw him play as a striker at Knight Stadium last season, so it really is Mr. Fix-It for Moreland City. That's a shuffle out of play by Matt Spall in his new position. So Drago Ostojic is not going to die wondering. Flicked on by Sands, hacked clear by Chris Dibb. Nice touch from Diven. Bakor. And Chudia Thargiath missed a lot of last season through injury. It was a real shame too because he's an electric player at his best. He's Scott Bakor standing up Spall and cutting inside. That's a nice delivery, but Ivan Razimic couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, good start from Saints. Pegging Moreland City back very early.
Not sure how much you've seen of Thargiath, Craig. I remember a couple of years ago now for the Bentley Greens, Chudia scored an outrageous goal right here at Churchill Reserve, so Dynamo fans will remember him.
Yeah, I saw him last season. I think I was here with Steve Curtin on his first game back. It'd be great to see get a good run now this season and get some confidence on him again.
He's just bounced around a few different clubs now. Obviously a Ballarat boy, but Bentley, Heidelberg, Kingston City, now Moreland. Nice to see him get some consistent first-team football, injury-free. Mix up at the back as Dibb clears straight into his midfielder. Cholina. Monek knocks one into space. Joey Monek doesn't quite have the pace to beat Spall.
That's a good tackle, that one.
Well, the Hill don't like it, but even though Joey Monek has come off worse for wear, it looks like Matt Spall played the ball there, Craig.
Yeah, it's a good tackle. That was, he got beaten, got back behind Joey Monek, who was running at pace, and yeah, good tackle. I'm not sure Ryan McGuffey saw it that way, but
Waters, Thomas off the shoulder. Unconventional but effective. Razimic looking for Chris Dibb, who's going on another adventure. Buoyed by winning a penalty in the first half. Centre-backs rounding goalkeepers, that doesn't happen too often. Moreland City play their way out quite effectively here. It's Spall. Goes direct. That's a great pass looking for Sands and doesn't quite sit for him. Unkind bounce and Christie back in the heart of defence doing what he does best.
Chris Dibb's just run about 300 metres in about 30 seconds there. He's on the right wing two seconds ago.
They're going to look at his GPS data after the game and notice some sort of incredible abnormality.
The seat mat will think, what are you doing right wing? You're centre back.
It's Joey Cholina. Has Nelson Tashongo out wide. Decent cross for Bakor. And it's headed too close to Alex Condolian.
Yeah, it's clear that Roy McGuffey's set his side up to really get at Moreland in this second half. A third goal will kill the game, won't it? I don't think they can rest on their laurels at 2-0. You know, with the amount of opportunities that created in the first half, Moreland City, they just that third goal is crucial for St Albans. And they've started off really well.
The pace hasn't let up in these opening moments. Really open. A Rob. Couldn't quite find Fulton, and very composed work from Tashongo to head back to his goalkeeper. Those situations always make you nervous. Potential own goal if the goalkeeper comes.
Offside, yeah.
Diven will be offside if he touches it. Play on as Josh Diven spots the flag before he prompts the whistle. This is Diego Cuba. And that's a little wasteful. Diven spinning curl Rob. Josh Diven goes for goal from the angle. Goal kicked the verdict.
Yeah, he impressed me last week, Josh Diven against Knights, even though they didn't come away with anything. His work rate up top is very good. I'm sure once he starts finding the back of the net, his confidence will grow even further. He's a good young talent, is Josh Diven.
Come across from the Western United Academy. Rangy target man. Bakor. Bakor, well, the Englishman turns on a dime there and picks out his countryman Summerskill. Brian Summerskill driven in. Can't beat Kerr or Rob. Monek to Summerskill. Neatly done by Cholina, not quite fed through for Monek, and the attack peters out.
Yeah, he's key to this side, Brian Summerskill, isn't he? Very talented footballer. Very clever on the ball, technically very, very good. And St Albans do well when he gets on the ball and he can create.
Tashongo losing out in that 50-50 with Fulton. Fletcher Fulton whips it to the back post. Corey Thomas, head in hands. Didn't quite make it to him. Bakor, great use of the body. And now Dinamo are on the charge again. Razumich has to check his run and take it wide. Razumich looking for Diven. The only hope he had of connecting with that was the hand of God, and he opted to keep his hands to himself.
That's a great break. Counter-attack from St Albans. A fantastic ball in from Razumich on that far side.
Thomas went down. It's a helping hand from Ryan McGuffey as he gets back to his feet. Spore. Gets it back from Kerr a Rob. Oh, and Condolian coming out like a wrecking ball again. Not Condolian, I should say, Marco Bullich. Yeah. Two goalkeepers in matching yellow kits, Craig, tonight, which will be interesting if we ever get a late corner with a goalkeeper sent up for a set piece. This time it's Bullich coming off his line at that same end in similarly bright colours.
Yeah, I think it frightened everybody in the ground.
Sense of deja vu. It's Cuba. Diven. Bakor has the beating of Spall, and Monek getting forward from left back. Monek drives it across goal. He had two waiting but couldn't pick out a teammate. And then Arob was never getting beaten to that ball. It's Thargiev. Judy Thargiev rides the challenge brilliantly. That's eye-catching stuff. Oh, he's got a bit of fire in his boots. Farjith, his great turn of pace. Couldn't quite pick out a teammate with the cross. Razumich looking for the return from Divan. Instead, target man holds it up and waits for Summerskill to join in. Nazari sidesteps the challenge of Thomas. Fulton into touch. Bakor takes a little juggle there. Lovely skill. To the byline and wins his side a corner. It's not often you see a player juggle it 3 or 4 times in a row in a game, Craig.
No, he did well. He gets a corner for Saints. Early in swing of this from Riccobeni. Maybe put it in on that keeper, I think.
Looking to summon Michael Gergich from the bench, but I'll hold off for this set piece. He's still got to go through his final warm-ups, I think, but maybe a change incoming. Maybe the left-footed in-swinger. If there's a bit of drama in the box. A bit of sorting out to do for Daniel Ilievsky.
Yeah, fourth officials keeping a close eye on that that byline of just in front of the goalkeeper there. Razumich, I think it is. Just trying to put the goalkeeper off.
It's Jose Sands trying to take him away from Condolian. And there was a foul in the box. It's Matt Spall who went down. Moreland City will get us back underway in a hurry. Long kick to no one in particular.
Yeah, that'll be infuriating for the for Moreland City coaching staff for just giving the ball away. And luckily for them, it didn't go anywhere. They need to keep the ball and work it up the pitch rather than just giving it to St Albans, because they got some big boys at the back there, and it's not going to be easy for anybody to get their head on the ball with Chris Dibb marking you.
Bullich away from trouble. Killed dead by Razumich, and then Summerskill knocks it in behind, and Spall underneath the bouncy ball had Scott Bakor just lurking on his shoulder. Well done by the makeshift right back. Moreland City ball. Looks like Moreland might be preparing another change as well.
Yeah, it looks that way.
It's going to be Matt Spall. Riccobene sweeping up at the back. That ball's gone out before he was able to clear it. It's going to be a Moreland corner, I think. Or perhaps not. Just an early flag from the assistant. Is corner the verdict?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
After a little bit of confusion. It's Diego Cuba lining one up again. To the penalty spot. It's volleyed goalwards. Chris Dibb dodging out of the way. It was a decent opportunity for Moreland City, but just completely mishit by Kerr Arob.
It was. I think they were looking to get the substitution on just before that corner, but I think they're a little bit concerned here with Matt Spall. Looks to have got a bit of an injury. I think they're just holding off.
It's a difficult one because they've made that change to put a more attacking player at fullback and make room for Thargieth on the right, but now Spall is struggling. Well, straight into touch. Jose Sands, neatly done. Well, he gets the return from Cuba as well. Sands back to Cuba to drive it into the box. Summerskill back defending. Diven holding it up against a Rob and then sliding in just a touch late on Dean Waters.
Yeah, just first bit of it was very good. Got his body in front of man and ball.
Nelson to Shongo underneath that long diagonal. Waters off the chest. And now Jose Sands lining another one up from range. Compared to his effort in the first half, that was disappointing. Into the car park.
Yep.
Now a double change being readied by Moreland City.
There's Matt Spall, that's going to be one of them coming off.
It's Aidan Croucher coming on for Matt Spall. And now Apai Akuno will be unleashed. Looks like there's been a booking just behind play.
And there's the Chilean that's coming off.
Yep, Jose Sands. That will be his last contribution. Well, we saw a couple of flashes from the Chilean, but all in all, a rather disappointing evening.
Yeah, it doesn't look very happy about being substituted. Oh,
Yep, there goes the drink bottle.
well, you know what the substitution's going to give you. He's going to give you, you know, his work rate, his height. And there's always a chance of a goal, isn't it?
Oh, a Rob maybe climbing on the shoulders of Diven there. A bit lucky to get away with that. Here's Apai Akuno. Goal machine in NPL2, as it was then known, for years and years for Moreland City. Missed a lot of football last season due to injury. But he is a tough prospect physically for any defender, and he knows where the goal is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Summerskill directing traffic. Ricabene only really had one option, and that was Scott Bacour. Wrestling with Aidan Croucher, the substitute. Bacour. Razumich heads in field. Couldn't connect with Diven.
Yeah, he's a good player, Scott Bacour, isn't he? The English import, puts himself about, technically good.
Ooh, Croucher caught very late. Didn't make much of a fuss about it, otherwise thought Scott Bacour might have been in trouble.
It's a good job he's technically good, isn't it? Because it's
Summerskill. Speculative effort from range. Sorry, Craig.
That's what I was saying, is good job he's technically good because his tackling's awful.
Well, when you're playing for Warrington Rylands or Skelmersdale United, that's a lovely tackle, I think.
That's normal.
It's just par for the course. Oh, not that Aidan Croucher made a fuss. Sprung straight back up to his feet. Former Box Hill United player. Another one of those in the Moreland City ranks have had a big promotion up the leagues. Brought in players from all sorts of different levels. Safakis, who started tonight, was playing at Keilor Park last season. Now here's Summerskill. Makes the interception. I thought he had a runner on the left, but Bacour was nowhere to be seen. Croucher.
Yeah, and I think that's the key for Moreland, isn't it? That they try and find these little gems from down the leagues, because they're not going to be able to match it financially with some of the big hitters, are they? And they need to find the little gems that they have from Fletcher Fultons and of this world.
Bringing players from interstate, or, as you say, finding talent in the lower reaches of Victorian football. Nazari. Staying in play for Dynamo here. Cuba, a bit of a wrestling match here. Good footwork though, works it to Razimic. Summer skill, great vision to find Monek. The bounce was unkind.
Yeah, knew exactly what he was doing with that before the ball came to Brian Summerskill there. It's almost a carbon copy of the first half, isn't it? Yeah. Except it's the opposite side. Moreland City, all the play in that first half, and St Albans having most of it this.
Maybe the field's on a tilt and we haven't noticed, Craig. Ricabene. Croucher. And for Akuno, and Thargiev loses his footing. Again, nearly moments frustrating for Moreland City. Akuno. Nazari coughed it up. Fulton onto a pie, Akuno, and it's comfortably saved at the near post by Bullich. Didn't get the venom on the strike that we were expecting as he lined up.
No, that's poor. I think it's Bakor gave the ball away there to Zelfi in the middle of the park there, and it was a hospital ball. He really didn't need to give that, and it's caused a few concerns in the St Albans ranks.
Bakor looks to be flagging a little bit.
He does, yeah.
Maybe they're not used to the heat coming from the UK.
He definitely won't be used to the heat coming from the UK. If you add up all the temperatures in March for the whole of March, it wouldn't add up to 38.
He's the Chidia Thargiev. Now Diego Cuba drifting wide again. Decent shape on the delivery, but overhit for these pitch dimensions. Do notice the visiting sides coming here do tend to overhit a lot of their crosses and just miss the penalty area completely because they're just, the muscle memory is not there.
Yeah, it is a very tight pitch here.
I suppose similar dimensions to Jack Edwards, but I think this one's even smaller.
Smaller than Jack Edwards, yeah.
Hasn't been especially pretty, but Dynamo with a 2-goal lead that they will cherish.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever going to be that a beautiful football. You know, won the pitch. You know, two the sides they're both down there. It's more about who's going to get these 3 points, and you know this is a big win. If it stays like this for St Albans, this will give them some confidence now after a few poor results.
Here's Razimic, a little speculator from outside the box, but Condoli an equal to it. Well, as Neil Warnock once said, you've got to die for 3 points in these sorts of games.
Yeah, and I think even more so for St Albans, this has to be a fortress, doesn't it? This Churchill reserve pitch. They have to make it their own and not let people teams come here and dominate games.
This is Thargiev, rides the challenge well. Just runs on a little long, and Ricabene can step in. A rob. Tsitsides. Looking for Fulton out wide. Fletcher Fulton. Lovely balance from the Tasmanian. Thomas. Thargiev. 1-2 doesn't quite come off. With Numan Ali up from the back.
Yeah, again, some nice football. Well played from Fletcher Fulton on that far side. Getting the byline. Two St Albans players with him. Managed to get it back and just maybe looking for that special goal. Talked about that in the first half. Maybe they just need to put their foot through it sometimes.
This is Divan. Nicely held up and picks out Razimic. Can he get past Ali in the 1v1? Well, Newman Ali's
done well there.
Very tough in those defensive duels. But he's lost out to Shongo. Just picked off very easily by Waters. Thargiev off Summerskill. Half a shout for handball. Summerskill. Raking pass. Finding Razimic, who's onside! And Ivan Razimic surely seals the deal for Dinamo.
That's a great ball from Brian Summerskill, by the way. For those watching at home, just have a look at the pace of that ball. Razimic allowed to have that ball run across his body and fire one into the bottom corner. And I think that's game, set and match for St Albans.
Well, he was on the money from the spot in the first half. And the pass for the third is inch perfect.
Yeah, as I said earlier on, he's instrumental in this team. You get him on the ball, get him into areas that he can hurt, and he'll hurt your team. But that's a great finish, by the way, from Razimic. You know, let the ball run across his body, waited and nailed it into the bottom left-hand side. Fantastic goal.
Well, it's been deja vu in more ways than one for Moreland City as we go into a drinks break after that goal. So last season, Brian Summerskill scored a penalty against them. And in the other match, Ivan Razimic was on the score sheet.
He scored 2 penalties last time, didn't he, Summerskill?
He scored 2 tonight. I think it was 1-0 in the previous meeting last season. What I didn't add is that Summerskill was actually sent off in the 6th minute of stoppage time last season in that same game where he scored. So
yeah, he's a very talented football player. It's a pleasure to watch him when he does get on the ball. He's very silky. He's the Liverpudlian.
Well, a bit of Scouse magic is what separates the teams tonight. Moreland City, truly the scoreline does not really reflect the game, especially in the first half.
No, you're right, Josh. They'll be bitterly disappointed going in 2-0 at half-time, and obviously they needed that goal early in the second half to make something of this, and it was always going to be difficult once St Albans got that third goal. It really is back to the wall now, and let's see what they are made of in these final bits of the second half.
Fulton has switched flanks. He goes down. Only half an appeal, really. Oh, and he's taken out Cholina in the retaliation, and now it's on for young and old. Right, surely Fletcher Fulton's going to go in the book for that.
Yeah, that's just frustration. I think Josh just saw his face when they were just taking kick off and had a look down, and he didn't look particularly happy. That'll just be petulance and frustration from the young man.
Well, discussions continue with Daniel Ilievsky. Don't think the card's come out.
I think he's forgotten about it. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not a card there, Josh.
Alan Jerez, meanwhile, is preparing to enter the fray. Surprised Fletcher Fulton got away with that scot-free.
Yeah.
Divin off the chest. Bakor. Summerskill. A Rob heads into touch. That's changes galore. Peak hour traffic in front of us as the fourth official goes through the paperwork. Carter Ramsey stripping off. Jack Gianta and Kazra Karamat going to enter the fray for Moreland City. Summerskill Well, surely best on ground after that performance. 2 goals from the penalty spot and a marvellous assist. He's run his race for tonight. Josh Diven takes his leave as well. Michael Satsides has gone to the bench for Moreland City, and more frustration and drink bottles sent flying on the Moreland bench.
Yeah, he's had a good game as well. He's been superb at the back. Certainly from a defensive perspective, they can't be blamed for any of the goals tonight. 2 goalkeeping errors and a fantastic through ball from Brian Summerskill, and a great finish from Razumich has got the goals, but yet very frustrated, forlorn figure as he walks off the pitch.
Very good, especially in the first half. Satsides, that sequence where he put in 3 incredible challenges in a row. I think they've sacrificed in order to take a few risks and just roll the dice. Down 3-0, they may as well.
You know, this is where the experience needs to come in for Moreland now, and a couple of, because they are a very, very young side, and Corey Thomas now, and obviously Jesus has come off the pitch, so they've got a very young squad in there now.
It's laid off for Cholina. Cannons into Cuba. Now Apaya Kuno. One for Cuba. Fulton was waiting for the ball through, but never came. Thomas.
Looks like they've gone to a 3 up top now. Cuba on the right, Fulton on the left.
Cuba copped contact from behind from Joey Monek.
Been really impressed with St Albans today. It probably was a little bit unfair on them last week against Melbourne Knights, but tonight they've been very, very good. They've set at this stall very, very early. Got the 2 goals.
It's been a mature performance, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's headed goalwards, and easy pick up for Bulwich. That was Kazra Karamad with the header. New man off the bench, former Melbourne City youth player. Tracked in the air by Thargiev, and then knocked long, vaguely in the direction of Akuno. Bulwich puts his foot through it. Dib. Well, it's pinball at the moment. Can Alan Jerez settle possession for Dinamo and put them through, perhaps for a 4th? Carter Ramsey! And it's tucked in at the back post by Scott Bacour. Dinamo with 4.
Yeah, Scott Bacour getting his first goal. Carter Ramsey looked distraught that he managed to get a touch on it, but it is Scott Bacour that gets the goal.
Well, he was never going to miss from there. But again, they spring on the break. Substitutes involved, Jerez and Ramsey making the desired impact. And this will do the goal difference wonders. Never mind the 3 points. They only scored 24 goals all of last season. And they've got 4 in a night.
Well, I said last week, that's been their problem for a number of seasons now, is that focal point up top. But, you know, tonight everybody's got involved, and hopefully this will give them the springboard that they need, the confidence, and that they can score goals.
Well, Fulton, well, he was lucky to avoid a booking a few minutes ago. He's slightly unlucky that whistle goes against him there, Craig.
Yeah, I think so. He's getting very frustrated now, is the young Tasmanian. But just going back to that goal, you know, firstly, well done to Alan Jerez, come straight on, pick the ball up in the middle of the park, and a fantastic, you know, ball defence splitting ball into the substitute, or the new player in there is Carter Ramsey.
A useful weapon to have off the bench, Ramsey. Perhaps they didn't have a backup striker last season of that quality. And when they lost George Ott, it was very difficult for them.
Oh, yeah, They had George Ogden, they had Zander Guy. So they've had some real big focal points here at that striking. But just last season, obviously they lost George Ott halfway through.
Nazari. One for Carter Ramsey to make a nuisance of. Oh, it's gone out for a goal kick. Oh, Moreland City looking pretty grim to start the year. 5 games and 5 defeats, barring a miracle. Can they get a consolation goal here? Not like that they won't, as Karamat and Cuba are getting in each other's way.
Barring a miracle, this will St Albans will move up from 13th up to 10th.
It's a huge result for them. Takes the pressure off here for Ryan McGuffey. Put in a very creditable performance against Avondale, but emerged with defeat. Against Melbourne Knights, they had their opportunities, but ultimately were outclassed. But tonight they got the result in the game that really matters, the relegation 6-pointer. Drags them away from danger. They're enjoying themselves now. It could be on for 5. Monek. Just lost his footing. And Croucher held his ground. Well, for St Albans next week, away trip to Hume City, who are in incredible form. Whereas Moreland City host Melbourne Knights at home, so really tough fixtures for both teams.
Yeah, there's no easy fixture in this league. No, Josh. We saw Friday night, didn't we, with Green Gully going down 4-2 to Altona North, who have Altona Magic, sorry, that have struggled.
Fulton, one for Cuba. Akuno. Cuba whips it in. No one attacking it from Moreland City. To Shongo. Able to set himself and clip it up towards Carter Ramsey. Ramsey was picked off, but not for long. Alan Jerez nips in, steals it off Cuba's toes.
He needs a good season as well, doesn't he, Alan Jerez? He's been in and around a few clubs the last few years. Needs to settle down and try and find somewhere home.
He won't have done his chances of a start next week any disservice with that lovely pass for Carter Ramsey in the lead up to St Albans' 4th goal of the night. Well, it came in tonight with a -6 goal difference. 2 more, Craig, would do nicely. Get it back to 0.
Not just the goal difference, Josh, the confidence that they give the players, and the coaching staff. That we all know how hard it is coaching, and when your luck's not there and you're not scoring goals, the pressure starts mounting. But this today might be the turning point. I spoke to McGuffey before the season started, and he said that he was really pleased with how his squad had come together, and they're far better this year than they have been. And maybe, like I said, this is the kickstart that they can really push on now, because they are only. They're only, what are they beyond? They got 4 points now, so you know, only just outside the top 6 now. So with a win,
Your fortunes can change pretty quickly with a couple of results.
Yeah.
Ramsey couldn't get on to that one. Corey Thomas giving away about a foot in height difference, but judged the aerial ball better. Jerez. Back to Bulich. Aquino has toiled since he's come off the bench to little effect. Ramsey. Loses out to Thomas. Now it's knocked wide by Karamad for Fulton. Aquino. Towards Karamad, but Bulich got there first.
And I suppose, like us, maybe many people around the ground looking at the starting lineup and thought, what's going on? But yeah, the substitutions or the lineup has been justified, hasn't it?
Marko Bulich has kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Surprised to see him displace Jasko Koranovic between the sticks. Maybe it's injury related, but
maybe, yeah.
Koranovic is on the bench, so
Gergit's the captain, of course, not on the pitch.
Since Ryan McGuffey decided they needed a shake-up after last week's 3-0 defeat. Certainly worked wonders, whatever he's done. Maybe it's Churchill Reserve under the lights that's brought the inspiration out of these players, Craig. Little shirt pull on Jerez.
Sometimes coaches, as coaches, we need to make decisions that's right for the football team and not always right for the personnel. And you know, maybe something's happened throughout the week that he felt that it wasn't quite right, and he's changed it. And have to applaud their decisions, because they've scored 4 goals, so nobody can knock that, can they?
Well, big calls, dropping a couple of club stalwarts, but 4-0 speaks for itself. This is Jerez. Flicked goalwards. Condolian, comfortable grab. And the sting's gone out of this game, Craig. Moreland City still toiling away, looking for an opening. This is Cuba. Diego Cuba forced away from goal.
Yeah, I think that second penalty really knocked this.
Hold on, here's Chudia Thargiev. Draws a decent stop out of the goalkeeper, but there was a player offside interfering with the line of vision.
Yeah, I think that second penalty late in that first half really knocked the stuffing out of Moreland as they went into the change rooms at half time. Their heads would have been down. They've come out and haven't really created as much as they did in that first period. But no, full credit to St Albans. I think they've been fantastic in this second period.
A Rob's header. Bacor will just see this out. On the score sheet tonight, he's first for the club. Waters couldn't force it through a narrow gap. Nazari neatly done. Cholina spots the advancing to Shongo. Now Cholina might be a chance here. Not quite. Does force a corner though.
Yeah, another chance. Put one in the mixer under the keeper.
Got another change for St Albans. It's Adam Hodor.
So for Nasri coming off.
Oh, very nice to have Zelfi Nazari back available for selection. Gives them a different dimension in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and of course Adam Hodor as well, who gave the game away last year, had a year off, and is now back at the club. So
he has scored against Moreland before, back in 2019.
yeah, it is nice to see Nasri back on the park, isn't he? Very nice footballer to have.
In swinging corner. Bakor was lurking, almost forced beyond Condolian, who was in no man's land, really. Karamat. Hacked away. A Rob. A Rob picks out a Iacuno. A Iacuno drives it across goal. Fletcher Fulton was waiting, but Nelson Tshongo is the man on the scene first.
Yeah, good defending. Got in front of Fletcher Fulton there, cleared his lines, as all good defenders should do in those positions.
Waiting for the fourth officials board. 4 minutes to be added at the end of the 90 here.
Yeah, Roy McGuffey won't want much more of this. I think he wants to bag the 3 points, get in the changing rooms, move on to next week.
We got to get inside the rooms and sing the song, I think. Here's Carter Ramsey. Snapshot saved by Condolian. Restarted through Waters. He's left it really short for Croucher. Oh, a silly Moreland turnover, and they might be punished here as Bakor. He'll shout for handball. Well, the Hill isn't best impressed. Monek for Ramsey. Just outnumbered in the end, Fulton. There's Monek running on his blind side, but he slips the ball in time. Cuba. Nicely waited for a Iacuno. On a hiding to nothing, though.
I was going to say he's going to have to do a hell of a lot on his own there because there was absolutely no support for him.
Well, that almost sums up the game for Moreland City. Nice patches, nice passages of play. Got some skillful players on the park, but just not connecting.
No. You see their heads are down, all shaking their heads. Corey Thomas there looks really frustrated. And
I think the reaction of a few of the players who've been subbed off tells the story as well.
And quite rightly so. You know, they had their chances in that first period, didn't they, Josh? And they didn't take them, and unfortunately, it has come back to bite them on the backside. And like I said, not taking any of that from St Albans. They've been fantastic as well. Done exactly what they needed to do.
Right. Batten down the hatches in the first half and gratefully accepted the 2 penalties that Alex Condolian gave them, with a couple of reckless runs off his line.
May have been a very different game if those 2 penalties hadn't have come along, you know.
Well, you know what they say? If my granny had wheels, Greg.
No, Josh, what's that? Tell me.
Oh, dear. But, the second half has been a very confident display. Showing the quality they really possess. Hodor applying the pressure. Fulton looks to the heavens as Hodor can't find a way past Corey Thomas. Thargiev finds Fulton. Crowded out, Tshongo clears. Chianta picked off. Bakor. There's Jerez. Monek almost in a spot of bother. Dean Waters finding Cuba. Karamad was the intended target. Again, it's rather telegraphed and predictable from Moreland City, and now Razumich goes racing down the right. Corey Thomas making the interception. Dean Waters under the pump from Bakor. Well, he's found a second win, Scott Pecor. He looked cooked at about the hour mark, Craig.
He did. He scored now. That gives you a new lease of life, doesn't it, once you get on the score sheet? He's been very good today.
And to be fair, it was a lung-busting run to get to the back post to tuck it in for the 4th goal for Dynamo, and that will do it. Daniel Ilievski blows the final whistle. That's a rather dejected response from these Moreland City players, who were better than the scoreline suggested in the first half. And in the second, St Albans Dynamo showed their quality and class, and they dragged themselves away from relegation danger with their first win of the season. An unseasonable 8:15 p.m. kickoff at Churchill Reserve. They've done the business here at home, and Craig, that is a huge, huge result, not just for the points tally, but for the confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we said before the game that it was a massive game for both sides. Somebody had to come out on top tonight, and it was St Albans that have done that convincingly, shall we say. Certainly in this second period, I thought they were exceptional in the second period. Did a job in the first half, 2 penalties for what we can only describe as reckless goalkeeping, put them in a position to go in at 2-0 at half time. But a very solid performance from St Albans, one that they'll be really glad of. Big 3 points, moves them up the table, and now they can get a good week under their belt on the training, and then up to Hume City next Saturday.
Well, the home fans cheering them off, and as well they might. Very tired, but very happy group of St Albans players have done the business in the heat here this evening. Brian Summerskill stepping up twice from the penalty spot in the first half and burying both before his through ball found Ivan Razumich for the third, and then Alan Jerez off the bench slipping one through for Carter Ramsey, whose ball to the back post was turned home by the tireless Scott Pecor for his first St Albans Dynamo goal. We'll sign off here and round out round 5 here in NPL Victoria. It's been a pleasure to have your company, Craig, and a pleasure to bring you the action live at home. The final score from Churchill Reserve is St Albans Dynamo 4, Moreland City 0.